Good Friday morning, Mount Olive family, friends of Mount Olive, all those tuning in to watch another Friday devotion. Pray that this week has been a good week for you so far. Looking at the weather report, looks like we may have some snow, big snow on the way. So we'll have to keep in mind, make sure that we listen about church services on Sunday, just see how everything goes. Hopefully it just bypasses and we won't get any of it. So that's what we hope anyway. Don't need a whole lot of snow right now after all that we've had. Let me share my screen with you. Hold on just 1 second. So we've been going over Brother TJ's message this past Sunday, the secret of success, and he was talking about focus. In keeping our focus in 2022, and the many ways that the devil and the world tries to take our focus off God and the work that He has for each of us. And he used Nehemiah chapter 6 as his groundwork for his message. And I'm going to look at the topic of defamation and how the devil uses it to try to take our focus away from what we should be doing. So in chapter 6, verse 5, just going here, it says, then sent Sanballat his servant unto me in like manner the fifth time with an open letter in his hand, wherein was written, is reported among the heathen, and Gashmu saith it that thou and the Jews think to rebel, for which cause thou buildest the wall, that thou mayest be their king according to these words. Verse 7 says, and thou hast appointed prophets to preach of thee at Jerusalem, saying, there is a king in Judah, and now shalt be reported to the king according to these words. Come now, therefore, let us take counsel together. So did you notice that Sanballat, he sent his servant, it says 5 times to try to get Nehemiah away from the work on the wall at Jerusalem. Each of the 5 times is in a different way and in a different message. And one thing that I think we all need to remember, when you're in the will of God and doing the will of God, the devil, he'll try to do the same thing. He will continue to come at you at different times and different ways, try to take your focus away and help you and make you lose your focus. That's his specialty. You know, it's been said that if the devil isn't messing with you, then you're probably not doing what you should be doing. You know, the devil's satisfied with your complacency and he'll just leave you alone. But, you know, when we start to work for the Lord, that's when usually the devil shows up, doesn't he? So let me go to this. Oh, sorry. Verse 5 again. Did you notice that what Sanballat did also? He sent an open letter. Did you notice that? He talks about sending an open letter in his hand. Now, why would he do that? You know, it wasn't a letter that was closed and sealed that was for Nehemiah's eyes only. You know, here Sanballat was relying on the servant's human nature to sneak a peek and spread the word of the supposed conspiracy of Nehemiah, because it says it was an open letter. Verse 6, we see that the deceitfulness of Sanballat. He starts his slander by the same old method that's still used today. He doesn't say he is saying it, but that others are reporting it. You know, it's done the same way today with verbal attacks on social media. The old, I'm not saying it, but I hear of others are saying it. Or did you hear what they said about, you know, so and so? Well, my question is, who are the others and who are they? You know, no one ever knows who the others and they are. And, you know, the devil uses people lots of times to do his work against Christians and the church and the work that's going on in the church. And many times they don't even know what's happening. So Sanballat, he just like the devil. He didn't have to start the fire. He just needed to provide the match and let human nature take its own course. And in verse 7, Sanballat continues his lying and slander. He doesn't say he is saying it, but it's said that Nehemiah, that you have set up priests to preach and tell the people that you are a king of Judah, And I, being a loyal subject to the real king, I must go and tell the real king what's being done here. Nehemiah, he could have just sat back and wallowed in his misery and had his own pity party. But he made his stand, and he would not back down from the work that was before him. So, the secret of our success is to maintain our focus. Nehemiah didn't lose his focus, and he continued his work despite the lies and defamation he was facing. So what did Nehemiah do? Well, let's look at verse 8. It says, "Then I said unto him, saying, there are no such things done as thou sayest, but thou feignest them out of thine own heart." Nehemiah steps up and he calls out Sanballat as a liar, and that all this talk is coming from Sanballat himself. Sometimes we just have to take a stand and with God's help, call out people for the things that they are saying. And then Nehemiah 6:9, it says, For they all made us afraid, saying, their hands shall be weakened from the work, that it be not done. Now, therefore, O God, strengthen my hands. Nehemiah knew that Sanballat was just trying to cause fear and disruption in the work that was going on in Jerusalem, but he had an answer to the problem, and that was prayer. He prayed to God. He said, "Oh God, strengthen mine hands." When all we have left is prayer, prayer is all we need. Pray to God, who is our deliverer and who is able to tear down the strong walls that try to fence us in. So remember, let's look at go to Paul in Ephesians in chapter 6. He says in verse 10 through 12, he said, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might." It's not in our might. We need to be strong, but it's in the power of God's might. And Paul tells us in verse 11, it says, "Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." So, that's the secret, that we have to make a stand, but, it's through the power of God that we're able to do so. But, it's still left up to us to take that armor and put it on. It says, in verse 12, "So for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So stay focused in 2022 and know your enemy. Stay focused in 2022 and keep up the good work that God has called you to do. And I hope you've enjoyed this Friday devotion. I pray that each one of you will have a good rest of the week. Like I said, it's supposed to snow, so be listening for the one call to see how services will go. Hopefully, like I said, it will pass us by and we won't have to worry about any of this. Love y'all and hope to see you Sunday morning.